Before I enter into my arguments, I'd like to state a few rebuttals. And there will be 3 points of rebuttals based on the proposition side's arguments. So, first of all, based on healthy competition. In here, competition is relevant because, first of all, we are talking about how this act is purposed to make product or service better and more powerful. And this is a common thing in a market. It is absolutely normal. You do things because you want to improve your product or your service. And second of all, since technology is always developing, there definitely will be other options. Like it's impossible for in a market to only have these two companies only. For example, you don't only see WhatsApp or Facebook in the chatting department. You also see WeChat, Line, etc. So other companies will also have the incentive to keep on innovating, which will keep options open for customers. And obviously, it won't only be this one company or this other company that will be used by customers only. Because, first of all, customers choose based on quality of services. Like there is a reason why they choose WhatsApp, for example, or there is a reason why they choose Discord, for example, because the quality of the calls is better, etc. So generalizing because of peer pressure to choose a certain service is absolutely not relevant because customers are not that naive. And second of all, other companies will keep on innovating to give good services, and that is why uh, there won't only be one option only in the market because the technology industry is constantly growing. And into my second point of rebuttal about data privacy. First, in data privacy, we talk about, first of all, in terms of privacy breaches happening more and more often, it is not exclusive to mergers and acquisitions only. This has always been an ongoing issue because of the developing technology over the years and smarter criminals. Second point, for the actions that companies do, it is obviously justified because we as customers should obviously be aware of that, and before using them, we already have to consent to the terms applied. But we still use them to suit our needs and habits. Moreover, this is an integral part of big data, and this is beneficial for both companies and users because companies will know how to fulfill their users' needs and demands. And since the technology industry is a customer or user center, it will obviously lead to customer benefits, which will be later elaborated in my arguments. And with the bigger database that these companies have, obviously they will be considered more fragile, so they'll have a bigger obligation and incentive to protect it better to guard their reputation. And last of all, if we talk about privacy breach issues, there's obviously the law to regulate. For example, the European Union's GDPR or General Data Protection Regulation. And into my third point of rebuttal about the urgency to innovate, as we already mentioned, the technology industry is user-centered. So they have the aim to fulfill their users' needs and demands that keep on changing over time. And that is why they will keep on innovating. For example, if you use apps every now and then, there will be new updates to keep their product fresh and alive. And before I move on to my arguments, it is urgent for me to once again illustrate the nature of technology companies that the government has unfortunately failed to understand. The best tech industries are customer centric. Essential elements in advancing tech industries are big data, artificial intelligence, and the customers. Big data enables computers to accumulate and analyze large amounts of data in order to spot relevant patterns. These patterns are used by artificial intelligence to forecast future outcomes and make human like assumptions. These are the fundamental principles of AI powered data analytics in a nutshell. All these data and analytics are dedicated to create the best user experience for a customer. Today, many companies are going through a digital transformation, which is the first step to becoming more customer centric. So, what does this imply? First of all, the technology industry is constantly growing, both in advancing technologies and also in creating quality services accustomed to a customer's needs. A customer's demands is in itself an incentive to innovate and improve. And second of all, as users are the core of tech industries are kept under watch of the public's eyes. They have a reputation to maintain since by nature they are prone to public criticism. Now entering into my arguments, first I will mention about the downside of the world with no mergers and acquisitions, and second of all, I will also mention the benefits of mergers and acquisitions. Entering to my first argument, the downside with no mergers and acquisitions. So what will it look like? In a world of business, it's very common for many companies to experience stagnancies or maybe even downfalls. Without the option for merging, what other solution would there be? Okay, maybe the government will help, but will it be on the government's priorities to help these companies? With mergers or acquisitions, these struggling companies are directly allowed to negotiate terms that they feel will bring advantage to them, or at the very least help them survive. So this is a means of maintaining struggling businesses. And second of all, innovations may rise even more slowly in this world. As the proposition side even admitted, to make innovations, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, and strategy to keep outdoing their competitors. By directly collaborating, two companies are joining forces to complement each other, and with the resources they have, manpower, and the standing in the market, they can make innovations at a more blistering pace. And in a world where everything needs to develop at a faster pace, this is just the right thing to do and what we need. And the second argument is about benefits of mergers. What does it look like from the company's perspective? It will be bigger and better. First of all, in terms of cost efficiency, with shared marketing budgets, enhanced purchasing power, and lower expenses, merged companies cut costs and overheads. Second of all, there will be better resources that result in, first of all, bigger database. So these companies will be able to know their customers' needs better, increases efficiency for IT workers, and with the info available, they'll be able to compete with competitors. They will also have a powerful server and stronger IT security as they have more resource, more manpower, and they will also be pushed by the fact that they've become a big force in the market. So they will have the tendency to improve their status. And another thing is that the services will complement each other. There will be brainstorming between two companies, and that will lead to room for innovation, especially if they are between two pretty well-known companies. The fact that they collaborate will make customers even more interested. For example, Gojek and Tokopedia merge. Then customers can expect for product or the service to be even better because there will be the combined strengths from both companies, resulting in integrated shipping process for shoppers. There will also be result in stronger standing in the market, as I've already mentioned, and there will be continuous growth. All these advantages are used to create the best user or customer experience. Consider a typical day, you likely check the weather with Google Home before you leave the house, pay with your credit card via smartphone app, and call a Gojek from your home. While waiting, you ask Google to play your favorite tune from YouTube. You may also order groceries from your computer on Topet to have them delivered on the same day by Gojek, all in one click. More of these benefits include better design, example in Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. You can see how the design now looks different from how it initially looked to be. We can see more color and more variety in design, etc. There will be better server and also faster speed, and there will be more efficiency. For example, in online payment, there will be much easier technicalities, and overall, it will be a better customer or user experience because there will be better safety as well. There will also be suited. It will also be suited to individuals' needs. For example, if someone needs to make a phone call, then there won't be too much hassle, as we can see how Discord, WhatsApp keep on making improvements in terms of their phone calls. And for workers, it will obviously help them to prevent from layoffs. And we go back to the struggling companies. By having merges or acquisitions, then the companies will have the funds to maintain their services, and it will give the workers the chance to help innovate and develop the company to be even better. And when a company is even better, then the working experience can be even better for these workers, and that is why we are really proud to oppose.